I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, September the 15th, brought to you in part by Toromox by Norbrook. It's the Moxie with the Moxie. It's the first generic Cydectin injectable solution, and you can expect the same weight gain advantage that you're used to with Cydectin, but now at a lower cost. For more information, go to norbrook.com. Cattle market catches another gear. Board was up big on Thursday. Of course, we saw big gains on the board late last week and early this week, and then it kind of took a little break, came back a little bit down middle of the week. But when Thursday's board come out and then just kept gaining and kept gaining after that bearish crop report, the demand for feeder cattle is excellent. We saw new record prices in almost every trade area. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of individual quotes and high prices on feeder cattle at the end of the report to give you an idea how good it was. But the board was up, big premium to cash, both fats and feeders, trading several dollar premium to what our cash levels are, although we don't have good price discovery in our fat cattle market, so we're not exactly sure what the price is. We haven't seen hardly any trade at all in our negotiated fed cattle trade. They've traded a few cattle in the northern plains, anywhere from 180 to 186. They traded some confirmed 184 to 185 on Thursday, but the market deserved to be higher. It was higher if you know where to look for it. They traded several cattle delivered in the northern plains from 186.5 to 187. That's just according to the Packers playbook. You buy the cattle so if you have to raise the price on them, you don't let them go into the negotiated weighted average, which will raise the base price on all the cattle that they buy on some type of a formula deal. So they're just going right according to that, having not traded a hoof at all in Kansas or Texas. I was talking to the guys at Consolidated Beef Producers. You know, what's going on? Are you getting anything? They said we got some 177 bids, $3 lower than last week. Are you kidding? They just don't really need them. They've scaled back the harvest so much, the slaughter, that they don't really need as many cattle as they typically would buy, and so they're just buying them all through the formula type process or negotiated grid, which really has no negotiation to it. They're scaling back nearly all of their purchases in the negotiated trade. How they're getting enough cattle really to establish those base prices, I don't know. They keep adjusting them down all the time, but we're really in a sad situation on price discovery in our fed cattle market. Everybody knows we got extremely tight supplies of market-ready cattle, but we can't see any raise in the market at all because they will not let it show in the negotiated trade. But you look at your retail beef prices, they're high, record highs. They hit your retail beef prices hit another record for the month, a monthly record for the third consecutive month. Now, well, it did drop off a little bit from August, because August was your all-time, or July was your all-time high, and your August numbers is what I'm giving you. They did drop back 1% from July, but still an all-time record for an August. And your choice beef products as a whole were $8.23 a pound retail, and that is up 8.6 from a year ago. And your ground beef is up big too, $5.08, which is just 2 cents a pound off of your all-time record high, but $5.08 for the month of August on ground beef retail. You know, are the processing costs higher too? Are your retail handling costs higher too? I'm sure there's some higher. Everything's higher since Magoo took a hold of this country. But as a percentage basis, as much higher as the product is, do they just continually raise what they get for processing and what they get for retail handling? I don't know. But it's kind of confusing how that works. The packers and the retailers and the middlemen continue to make their money. You know, it's hard to complain about the cattle market right now because it's at all-time high levels. but give it 3 or 4 years and it's going to be backing off, and we're still going to be in the same shape. But your carcass weights is unbelievable. Actual carcass weights for the week ending September the 2nd came in up another 2 pounds at 908 pounds for your average steer carcass weight. Now that week, if you remember, that last week of July there, or last week of August, excuse me, it was extreme heat. I mean, the amount of weight that they were losing in the feedlots was unbelievable. 30 to 50 pounds a head through that week because of the extreme weight. Yet your carcass weights come in that much higher again. It's hard to believe. I keep waiting for them to drop off, you know, and they're just not buying very many cattle. Maybe they were just buying the biggest, heaviest cattle, ones that they think will perform on the rail the best. But that is confusing to me, and it should be to you too. Let's look at your board. Very impressive board on Thursday. October live cattle futures up 232 at 185.47. December live cattle up 250 at 190.35. Your back months were up even more, up 240 to up 262. We saw April settle. Your April live cattle contract settled at 198.75. And in the morning on Thursday, I saw reports that we had one major packer that was basis bidding $3 over the April board. That's well into $2 a pound live for fat cattle there if you take it back that way. Now I understand that they pulled those basis bids back once your board started rallying on Thursday, but still over $2 a pound in the country there to a major. That's kind of a new deal there. We haven't seen that yet. September feeder cattle contracts were up 167 at 255.17. October up 282 at 261.87. Your back months on feeder cattle up even stronger than that, up 327 to up 402. April back up there over 270 for April feeder cattle, settling at 270.32. If you're going to be backgrounding cattle, you got to get LRPs, guys. You know, it's just too much risk to take. Talk about your corn. December new crop corn was down 1 3/4 cent at 480.5. November new crop beans up 10 3/4 cent at 1360.5. Kansas City hard red winter wheat for December down 8 1/4 cent at 736.5. New contract highs on your cattle futures all abound. Talk about the little dribble of fat cattle trade we had negotiated. Here's your price discovery in the fed cattle market, guys. Iowa sold 900 head is all on Thursday, confirmed 6,900 for the week. That is nothing. 184 to 185 was all we saw in negotiated trade, and 288 dressed. Nebraska sold 1,800, but 3,700 for the week, all the way through Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Unbelievable how light that is. We didn't really see any FOB trade at all, either live, and we didn't see any dress delivered prices, which is what we set the market by. Most of their trades were 186.5 delivered, but we can't really count on that because that does not go into your weighted average to set those base prices. Like I said, Kansas and Texas sold nothing. It's so frustrating whenever we're gambling on these calves and these big yearlings with no fat cattle price discovery. They're getting all-time record highs for their retail beef, but the box beef cutout values are struggling. They continue to struggle, and they're pretty handsome. They're not nearly as high as maybe like what they were like in around COVID when production was down, but they're at high levels. But you would think that they could prop those up a little more. However, what are box beef cutout values reported? They're reported by the packer. They tell us what they want us to know, and that's it. There's very, very extremely light trade in the 2-week delivery, which is what those cutout values are based on. So we don't really know, but you know, I'll give you what they report. Choice cuts 306.37 down $1.18. Selects down 33 cents at 286.86. Your slaughter 502,000 through the first 4 days of the week. That is extremely light. Compare that to a year ago It's 9 pounds less than the same week a year ago. Can't compare it to last week because of the holiday. Like I said, your actual slaughter information come in for the week ending September the 2nd. Your average dressed steer carcass weight 908 pounds, up 2 pounds with extreme triple-digit heat. Unbelievable. 4 pounds higher than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Performance livestock analytics. With performance beef, you can eliminate handwritten notes, double data, and complicated software with one easy-to-use solution. For more information on performance beef, go to performancelivestockanalytics.com. Talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DVAuction late in the day on Thursday, based on your 7 to 899 pound steers, cash auction steers up through your middle 12 states, as reported to Cattle Market Central. The highest it's ever been, 251.09, up $1.86 just for the day's trade on Thursday. Very impressive. Coming to you from out here in Fallon, Nevada. Nevada Livestock Marketing is having a special feeder cattle sale. We're here taking bids with DVAuction. I'm going to help auctioneer the sale. They've got 1,600 head of feeder cattle in Fallon, Nevada at Nevada Livestock Marketing. Going to be mostly yearlings, 650 to 900 pound yearlings. And then they do have a pretty impressive offering of calves, 450 to 650 pound calves. One consignment in particular, but they will be double vaxxed and long time weaned, guys. High elevation desert cattle. Also on Saturday, don't forget, from Alturas, California will be the first time to ever broadcast Modoc Auction Yard. That's a pretty neat place up there in extreme northern California, guys. Heard Hank Jr. sing about North California and South Alabama. Been to South Alabama a lot of times, but North California, kind of same type of a deal there. It's nothing like Southern California. But be sure to get on to DVAuction.com and check out Modoc Auction Yard on Saturday. Talk about your big sales on Thursday. Farmers and Ranchers Livestock in Salina, Kansas had 3,100 head. The feeder steers weighing from 7.5 to 9 were $7 to $8 higher. Heavier feeder steers weighing over 9 were $2 to $3 higher. Feeder heifers, those on offer, were mostly 600 to 750 pounds. They sold $6 to $7 higher. A reporter there did make note that a lot of those yearlings still coming in off grass because they have had some moisture there. But they're green yearlings and there's good demand for those. Calves were not well tested. Winter Livestock in Pratt, 2,700 head, biggest run they've had for quite some time because they're just in a part of the state there that have been so dry there in the first part of the summer. There wasn't a lot of cattle turned out there to sell. But no recent comparison. They will start their calf specials here right away at the Winter Livestock Barns. Your NationalBeefWire stick-out sale of the day was Stockman's Livestock Exchange in Dickinson, North Dakota. Had 5,300 head for their anniversary barbecue sale. All the quotes that I saw were impressive. I'm going to give you those all thrown together in this automated market report through Cattle Market Central. They had 584 head of 7-weight steers. They averaged 754 pounds with a weighted average price of $270.11. And that included one standout sale. The Shipkowski steers, 218 of them weighed 764 at $276.25. My goodness. How about 778 8-weight steers out of Dickinson, North Dakota, that averaged 851, the weighted average price of $250.65. 439 had a 9-weight steers, averaged 938 pounds with an average price of $242.36. Look at the heifers. How about 350 had a 7-weight heifers? They averaged 741 pounds, weighted average price $246.85. 605 head of 8-weight heifers in Dickinson, North Dakota, had a weighted average weight of 842, weighted average price of $238.51, and 274 head of 9-weight heifers, averaged 940 at $229.64. Going to give you several individual quotes from all around the country. How about Clarinda Livestock Auction in Clarinda, Iowa? DVAuction broadcaster there, good friends of mine. They sold 69 steers that weighed 573, bring 333. Very impressive. How about Columbus, Nebraska? Columbus Sales Pavilion sells 56 steers, weighed 914 pounds at 267. Now I want to give you some Eastern quotes. How about Elite Livestock Sales? At their video sales through DVAuction there, they had some cattle out of Geiger, Alabama. The River Valley Cattle Company steers had a load, and it's going to be a big sort, so you can get exactly what you wanted. Had a load of weaned steers there. They were Angus verified, NHTC, Beef Care certified, and 44 farm sired. Had a lot of bells and whistles there, but a load of those fancy weaned steers there weigh 575, coming here before the end of the month and bring 297. In Alabama, people. Very impressive. How about another Eastern quote? Paris, Kentucky, Paris Stockyards sell 200 steers that weigh 1037 in Paris, Kentucky, guys, and they bring 226.50. Now I want to give you the biggest heifer quote that I saw on Thursday. It was Mitchell Livestock Marketing in Mitchell, South Dakota. Jared Herman sells 3 loads of heifers. They averaged 850 pounds and bring 255.10. Heifers, guys. It was hard to get that for steers just a week or two ago. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Thursday, your Macrocin, no BS, top quote for the day, come out of Valentine Livestock Auction in Valentine, Nebraska. The Frown steers there, they had a load of 810-pound steers that bring 280.50. And then the little brothers might be even more impressive. A load of them weighs 745 and bring 294.5. And that's your feeder flash for Friday.